Hi everyone, this is Caroline Speaks, The State of the World on Thursday, July 1st, 2021. July 4th will be on Sunday, and I could hear the fireworks outside my window. Very sad, because fireworks scare animals. Animals run off, get lost, and sometimes they never get back home safely. So, fireworks are bad. Also, we're having a drought. We don't need any fire. We don't need anything that's going to start a fire. So, no fireworks, please. Okay, now, and former Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld has passed away. He is the architect of the Iraq War. He worked for President George Bush, the son. Very, very sad that he had so much power. But anyway, he was there, and now he's not. Now, one thing I've never understood is the story. Demonization of Iran is a mistake that has trapped the U.S. in perpetual Middle East conflict. I don't really understand why Iran is demonized. Iran had a Shah, and in the 1950s, our government basically got rid of the Shah and put in their own favorite government. And then again, they did that again in the 1960s at some point. And then they had a revolution in Iran. So it became a very religious country. So I don't understand why the U.S. demonizes Iran, and we support Saudi Arabia, and we support Turkey, and we support all these radical right-wing countries. I just don't get it. But that's the way it is. Now, what else is happening in the world? Well, the Trump Organization and their CFO have been indicted by a grand jury in New York. Bill Cosby, who was charged and found guilty of sexual assault, is now free on the technicality. Very sad. Now, the Pacific Northwest has lost a lot of people because of the unprecedented heat wave. And then indigenous groups blockade the White House, urging an end to fossil fuel projects. I'm with them on that. ExxonMobil has a lobbyist who is tricked into disclosing how the company fights climate initiatives. The Miami Beach building is maybe collapsing completely, and the death toll keeps rising, but a lot of people are still missing. Now, the highly contagious Delta COVID variant has increased cases all over the world, from Bangladesh to Russia. And the Brazilians call for Bolsonaro to be impeached as the coronavirus death toll tops 500,000. Well, we're about 600,000, so they're lower. And then apparently Mr. Secretary Rumsfeld was the architect of the Iran war and torture. Very nice. But that's the way it is. Now, 2 Republicans backed the House plan to establish a January 6th Select Committee, including Congresswoman Liz Cheney. Now, billionaire decided to fund deployment of South Dakota National Guard to the U.S.-Mexican border. Why? Why would South Dakota want to have anything to do with the U.S.-Mexican border? And don't understand why people are coming here? Okay. Now, the Amazon company seeks to force the new Federal Trade Commission chair to recuse herself over past Amazon criticisms. And now China is marking the 100th anniversary of Chinese Communist Party. Isn't that nice? And the U.S. and Japan held secret war games and military exercises targeting China. Now, how about the CSIS Secretary, the UN Secretary General, urges the United States to lift sanctions on Iran. Well, I don't know why we're sanctioning Iran. And 182 more unmarked graves have been found at First Nations residential school in Canada. What is it about? And this was the Catholic Church. The Protestant Church has also been guilty of atrocities against indigenous peoples. Actually, after World War II, during World War II, they were helping people during World War II were desperate for places to live and food, etc. And so they helped them, and then they shipped them off to Australia because they needed what they called white stock. I don't know why it is indigenous peoples all over the world are treated so horribly. Now, the Palestinian Authority has asked Israel for munitions to quell West Bank protests. Isn't that strange? The Palestinian Authority is supposed to be helping their own people. They don't want them to protest? Don't they have the right to protest there? Okay. Now, the State Department will allow an X-gender marker on passports. That's nice. And New York City is still working on counting the ballots in the mayor election. And the University of North Carolina Chapel Hill Board votes to give tenure to Nicole Hannah Jones, who's African American, and it created quite a stir when they first denied her. So I hope she does well. Now, so that's kind of a summation of what's happening in the world. The July 4th is coming up, and slavery still lingers because we have this 13th Amendment says that slavery is done. However, former slaves can be put back into slavery if they commit a crime. They can lose their new hard-won freedom and they can become slaves again. Now, and currently, when you're in prison, you, at the local level and the federal level, the prison authority is basically providing you with a place to live and eat, medical care, supposedly, and work. So they can have you do any kind of work they want. But when slavery ended, the 13th Amendment said that slavery was abolished. But there's a new constitutional amendment currently before Congress to settle this surprising question. Once and for all, Section 1 of the 13th Amendment states, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime, whoever the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist, states, or any place subject to their jurisdiction. That phrase, except as a punishment for crime, spawned a contagion of arrests and imprisonment of formerly enslaved African Americans, stripping them of their new hard-won freedom and consigning them again to slavery in the form of prison labor. The practice continues now nationally with the modern multi-billion-dollar prison labor industry, operating from the federal prison system on down through local jails and private prisons. So, but now we have Senator Merkley and Representative Nikema Williams are intending to bring that to an end. They have some legislation that is being supported, so hopefully that'll end. Now, another thing is that if you're in prison in a lot of states, you lose all your rights, in addition to your right to vote. And once you're free, you should have that vote right restored, but that hasn't happened in some states. So so there's a lot of things to think about and a lot of things to work on. Now, I think that we really need to have a fair system because otherwise we're going to have back to slavery times. Okay, now, this is July 1st, and July 4th will be on Sunday. Okay, so how about the start of the holiday weekend? Let's have a little music. All right, I'd like to sing, something I like to sing is World of Our Own. Close the door, light the lights, we're staying home tonight, far away from the bustle and the bright city lights. Let them all fade away, just leave us alone, and we'll live in a world of our own. We'll build a world of our own that no one else can share. All our troubles will leave far behind us there. And I know we will find such peace of mind when we live in a world of our own. Okay, that's World of Our Own. I hope you liked it. It's a song written by Tom Springfield of the Springfield Folk Group with Dusty Springfield, his sister, is the lead singer. It's also sung quoted by the Seekers. Hope you liked that. Thank you for joining us this evening of Thursday, July 1st, 2021, for another meeting of Carolyn Speaks State of the World. Hope you'll be back with us again tomorrow. In the meantime, stay safe, wear a mask, practice social distancing, only that when you have to. When the vaccine is available for you and it's safe for you to take it, I would take it. I had mine on May 27th. I had sore arms at first. I was tired, but I'm fine now. And remember, take care of yourself and each other. And very, very, very important. Remember, kindness goes a long way. Kindness goes a very long way. Thank you. Good night.